we present the Riyadh Comedy Festival. Government-approved jokes and delicious food served to you by literal slaves.
Wow, I'm learning so much. That's fucking crazy.
Afterwards, you can visit beautiful sites, like the prison where we keep women's rights activists.
Holy sh**.
I am doing this because they're paying me enough money to look the other way.
Okay, it's honest.
In an attempt to clean up their image, they've spent millions of dollars on mega projects, sports, and now comedy.
Well, yeah, and this is also a way to whitewash and get themselves liked in America. I think Saudi Arabia just bought EA too. They're trying to invade our pathways. They're trying to get into our hive mind. All right, this looks interesting. This is from Dantavius. What the Sigma? He made a video for the first time in a long time on his Danny Darko page. Comedians who sold themselves to Saudi Arabia. I heard about this. I want to look into it more. And this is how we're going to do it. Lazily. And then after this, I'll probably message Dantavius. He says he's going to move to the East Coast. Doxing? Just kidding. So, that'd be cool. Let's go.
There's a Riyadh Comedy Festival. I don't know if you heard about that.
By the way, I love Mark Maron. I think Mark Maron is kind of like the George Carlin. You guys look at George Carlin, very progressive. So, great guy. The same people who are like, I love George Carlin so much, are the same people who would like actively fucking call him woke and gay nowadays, you know?
This is true. There's a Riyadh, Saudi Arabia Comedy Festival.
For the Saudi princes?
Yeah, everyone's doing it. So.
But fucking base, by the way, fucking awesome that Shane Gillis isn't going. I love Shane Gillis. I'm actually insanely disappointed that Bill Burr is doing it. Because Saudi had a lot to do with 9/11, am I right, guys? That's my understanding. It's pretty crazy. You know, my understanding is that they were, supporting the infrastructure, supporting some of the terrorist cells. I don't know. It seems like a crazy. Oh, and they just assassinated a journalist like 2 months ago, right? That's a little fucking crazy to me. You know, it's like maybe those are not great people to support necessarily. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying.
For Saudis? Weren't those the 9/11 guys?
You're going to have a maid that doesn't have access to her passport.
I think this guy also said no, too. So, based.
Like it or not. You're a Filipino woman who's trapped in the desert.
Human Rights Watch has been begging.
This is where I saw it from that guy first. He's fun. He's a fun guy.
The comedians not to participate in the whitewashing of the horrors that are ongoing.
I am doing this because they're paying me enough money to look the other way. How do you...
Okay, I mean, I guess. All right, I mean, it's still fucking pathetic, but you know what? I guess you... all right, I guess it's honest. Okay.
You even promote that?
From the people that brought you
That was crazy.
9/11, we present the Riyadh Comedy Festival, where the world's biggest comedians sell their souls to whitewash an authoritarian regime responsible for countless human rights abuses.
Well, I mean, it's already kind of, some people would say that some comedians like Theo Von have already done that by guzzling Trump's cup,
Enjoy an evening of...
It was a little funny to see Theo Von get upset about they used, the White House used a clip of him, say like basically to promote ICE terrorizing people. And he's like, don't do that, man. It's like, you're part of that. You're kind of part of what got him elected. A bunch of fucking people, there's quote unquote centrists who just toe the line of what society feels is acceptable, even when it's not. It's like, you kind of got them voted in there, bud.
Government-approved jokes and delicious food served to you by literal slaves.
Wow, I'm learning so much. That's fucking crazy.
You'll laugh so hard that you'll forget all about the genocide we did a few years ago.
Hey, listen, but the Passat is a Passat, am I right? I'm not.
Afterwards, you can visit Saudi Arabia.
Tim Dillon can perform. All right, God bless.
Beautiful sites, like the prison where we keep women's rights activists.
Holy shit, what the fuck?
Or the square, where we execute journalists for criticizing the government.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Oh boy. I am hyped for the Riyadh Comedy Festival.
All right.
All my favorite comedians are going to be there. Bill Burr, Dave Chappelle, Kevin Hart.
Bro, I'm shocked at Bill Burr, and actually Dave Chappelle too, because I thought he was a little, well, maybe he doesn't care. He just like a whole weird trans obsession fucking thing, so.
This guy.
I feel like I don't know who the fuck that guy is. Wait, what the fuck? What is this guy named? Pete something. Pete Davis? Pete Davis is good. Didn't his dad die in 9/11? What the fuck?
Why is he screaming? Oh,
didn't Pete Davis's dad die in 9/11? What the fuck? Is that... Holy fuck. Wait, how the fuck is Pete Davis going to be at this Riyadh comedy festival when his dad died in 9/11? That's insane. Wendy Cummings, dude, that's fucking pathetic. This is crazy. I'm taking them all in. Because, you know, that thing gets fun. Dude, are you kidding me? Oh, dude, I loved this.
Oh, look, they even got women.
Oh, dude, wait, who this fuck? Oh, dude, I'm actually disappointed. Who's that fucking woman? Fluffy guy's going. This woman, I think, is somebody who makes like fun little gay-coded jokes. Who the fuck is this woman here? That's crazy to me. I actually liked her a lot. I need to find out what her name is. Dude, Jessica Curson.
I know, look at the gay man. Oh, it's a harness.
No shit. I loved her. My wife loves this woman. Dude, this is so disappointing. Holy fuck. Dude, this is so fucked up. Damn. God damn. What a wave of disappointment. I think Bill Burr is the most disappointing one. Actually, Louis C.K. is disappointing too. I know he kept jacking off in front of women without their consent, which was obviously wrong. But I think that being okay with human rights violations is a little worse. What the fuck?
Wonder if they got permission from a male guardian to tell jokes. Oh, I see Pete Davidson's going. That's nice. You know, it just shows the power of forgiveness. You know, his dad died in 9/11, and now he's doing jokes for the people responsible for killing him. So, I'm kidding. Everybody knows George Bush. Man, when I first saw this, I legitimately thought it was a joke. Like, what's next? The Kabul?
I mean, I guess that would be, I guess that would be coded since they're comedians, huh?
Chuckle Fest? Just for laughs? Pyongyang? But, no.
That one sounds like it might be lit, dude.
It's real. At some point, Saudi Arabia realized that this oil money ain't gonna last forever.
Well, yeah, and this is also a way to whitewash and get themselves in the to get them in more like liked in America. I swear, like, didn't Saudi Arabia just buy EA as well? Yeah, I think Saudi Arabia just bought EA too. Dude, they're trying to fucking invade they're trying to invade our pathways. They're trying to get into our hive mind, and nobody's gonna care about it. I mean, Israel, like, let's be fucking real. Israel seems to be doing the same thing. They just got together with a bunch of fucking with a bunch of people, and they were like, with a bunch of conservatives. Oh, fucking Jesus Christ, saw Cam Higby on there, the old school TikTok shit right there. Just so that they can fucking like get into the hive mind too. The propaganda. This is what I'm saying. The propaganda is right in front of us. Saudi Arabia buys EA. You got fucking, you know, Netanyahu sitting here getting a bunch of fucking conservative content creators to run fucking propaganda for them. And nobody cares that much. Nobody cares when Israel does it or, you know, Saudi Arabia does it. It's right in front of our faces. But everybody's still making up these convoluted fucking conspiracy theories about how, like, fucking Tylenol causes autism if the mom takes it, or if your autistic kid takes Tylenol, your mom turns out gay or something. It's like fucking crazy. Like, guys, you don't need crazy conspiracy theories. We literally have Donald Trump creating controversies to distract from the fact that he was best friends with Epstein. The conspiracy theories aren't even conspiracy theories. They're in front of our faces. But instead of care about something like that, or care about like insane foreign influence, you guys are like, no, they're making the fucking frogs gay. Like, what? You don't need the conspiracy theories. Life is already fucking crazy. And every time you craft a new conspiracy theory about some dumbass shit that doesn't fucking exist, all you're doing is you're deciding that it just makes you feel better, I guess. Because you're ignoring the real shit that's actually going on in front of your fucking face. Like just the constant desperation from other countries to have some kind of a hold over your favor as they commit atrocities around the fucking world. Fucking ridiculous.
And they need to modernize. They need to become a player in the global field. So, in an attempt to clean up their image, they've spent millions of dollars on mega projects, sports, and now comedy. It's actually genius.
Hey, I love comedy, baby.
They're paying these useful idiots millions of dollars to whitewash the kingdom's, let's call them issues. And when I say issues, I'm talking about all these things I'm listing on screen right now, okay?
It's too much. It's too many stuff. It's too many stuff. Kidnapping, jailing people for tweet. That's crazy. Hey, guys, freedom of speech is under attack. But it's not our country, so we don't care.
Pretty horrendous stuff. Now, guys, I'm just a pedestrian at the end of the day. And I know in my heart I should never question our nation's brave comedians, but I don't know.
Dude, it's I know it's like a joke. But at the same time, like, that's kind of what comedy has always been. It's supposed to be it's supposed to be a more digestible way to criticize what's going on. Like, right, it's like you're the jester. You're the only person that can get away with making fun of like what's going on in politics. You know, you give people a laugh, it's more digestible what you're saying. So to some extent, like, yeah, this is actually extraordinarily disappointing. When you have like some of the big fucking names, especially like Bill Burr, who is like pretends, I guess, to be a fucking leftist or more left leaning. When you have them taking money, despite the fact that a lot of them don't even need the money, like that's a huge issue because those are the people that will be the most digestible for political shit. Like I would say that a lot of people, whether you want it or not, like Joe Rogan, he's a comedian, probably the most influential right winger right now. Most influential right winger by fucking you know massive miles. People get their political opinions from Joe Rogan. They get them from like Shane Gillis. They get them from Bill Burr. It's a huge deal. Like this is actually like an insane fucking amount of propaganda that's getting fucking plunged into our anus holes. It's fucking real.
Oh, guys, something about Saudi Arabia just doesn't sit right with me. You know, the more I hear about this country, the less I care for it. So okay. I'm going to go ahead and lay out some of Saudi Arabia's problematic features, and you guys can tell me if these comedians should be performing that. Now, this whole event is being organized by a guy named Turki Al-Sheikh.
I will say he's got some good drip, guys.
Who is the chairman of Saudi Arabia's Entertainment Authority. You may have heard about him because of his boxing partnership with famous woman beater Dana White.
All right, Dana, you've got some good public image shit going on. Is he a woman beater? What the fuck?
We have just done a deal.
What the hell? Oh, Dana White says criticism for physical altercation with his wife 100% warranted. Okay. Dana White caught slapping his
New Year's
wife.
Eve 2023
I don't know if I want to show this.
in Mexico.
The Young Turks Sports? What the? They have a sports section? What the fuck? Okay. Nobody seems to give a fuck about it, but alright. What? I don't want to play it on air, but I'm going to...
And brought it all in, but the celebration became physical. The video, obtained and published by TMZ, shows White grabbing...
So she goes to walk away, he grabs her hand, she smacks him, and he smacks her back.
...his wife's wrist as she tries to walk away, and Anne slapping him. Then White open hand slaps his significant other not just once, but twice. It all went down in Cabo San Lucas in the...
That's something crazy. That's fucking crazy. All right.
To start a new boxing league with Turkey.
Turkey is a childhood friend of Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman and one of his top advisors. He helped MBS on his rise to power and even participated in the infamous Ritz-Carlton purge where...
I always thought Turkey was so amazing because Hassan Parker grew up there and he learned all of his wokeness from there.
MBS imprisoned 300 of his rivals inside of a hotel. Today, Turkey is one of the most powerful men in the kingdom, and he definitely...
Are we talking about... Is a guy named Turkey? I thought we were talking about the country, dude. What are you gonna do, dude?
Uses that power, sometimes for good, but not always. Shortly before he was cut into pieces and stuffed inside a suitcase, journalist Jamal Khashoggi had this to say about Turkey. He is very thuggish. People fear him. If you
Oh, his name is Turkey. I thought they were talking about the country, dude. Fuck, that's crazy. Well, guys, let's call that a papagutism. A little ignorant. What are you gonna do, though? What are you gonna do?
Challenge him, you might end up in prison, and that has happened. Now, we'll come back to
Jesus Christ.
Khashoggi in just a second.
Some real journalism right there, man. Fucking put your life on the line for shit like that. It's fucking crazy.
But what he said is 100% correct. Several people have ended up in prison for the crime of making fun of Al-Sheikh's soccer team. Now, I'm not even joking. There's a prison in the middle of the desert just outside of Riyadh where 5,000 people are held, including terrorists, political prisoners, women's rights activists, and people who criticize Turkey on Twitter. According to a former prisoner, I know one guy who replied to one of Turkey's tweets complaining that his team lost. He had nothing to do with politics, he was just a football fan, and he was imprisoned just for that tweet. Another guy got sentenced to 18 years in prison.
19 years, apparently. What the fuck?
For criticizing how Al-Sheikh ran his soccer team. Al-Hayr prison has an entire wing named after Turkey because he put so many people in there for clowning on it.
Wow, that's fucking crazy. Guys, is that the same when somebody upsets me, so I decide to hide them from the channel? Is that the same?
And let me tell you, the conditions in these prisons are pretty brutal, okay? People are beaten, tortured, and even hung upside down by their heels.
Jesus fucking Christ. It's like a Planet Fitness. You ever see those guys? They're hanging upside down by their... That's the joke. That's the joke, guys. That's the joke. That's the joke.
I don't know, man. Seems like a pretty chill dude to do business with. Now, I brought up Jamal Khashoggi briefly. Let's talk about him for a second, because that whole situation kind of got memory hold. To refresh your memory, Jamal Khashoggi was a journalist who had a falling out with the Saudi royal family and became one of their most vocal critics. On October 2nd, 2021, Khashoggi went to the Saudi consulate in Turkey to get some documents. Here's CCTV footage of him walking in, but there's no footage of him coming out. That's because, like Tony Hinchcliffe, he never came out.
Wait, I thought Tony Hinchcliffe was like actively very gay. What the fuck?
Investigation done by the Saudis themselves, by the way, concluded that Khashoggi was forcibly restrained and injected with a large amount of a drug, resulting in an overdose that led to his death. His body was then dismembered and handed over to a local collaborator for disposal. According to the...
yeah, I mean, the fact that it's so public also communicates to me that they did not care that they wanted everybody to know about it for as like a public message.
The Saudi government, the 5 men responsible for Khashoggi's death were rogue agents, and the crown prince had no knowledge of the scheme.
Oh, I'm sure that's true.
In fact, it wasn't even premeditated. The CIA says otherwise, though.
Well, we can't trust them, guys. The CIA, probably not as reputable as, this whatever murder squadron these people are,
Okay, but this...
Never trust the Western government, am I right?
This was all the way back in 2018, maybe they've changed since then. Now, back in June, just a few months ago, another journalist was executed for treason and terrorism. In other words, he was tweeting things critical of the government. In 2018, Al-Jasser was kidnapped, imprisoned, and tortured for 7 years before ultimately being executed. Jasser,
Jesus fucking Christ,
was just one of the 100 executions carried out in Saudi just this year alone, most of them without due process. So, yeah, I guess it's safe to say...
Well, I mean, even if they had quote-unquote due process, it doesn't sound like these governments are, particularly honest.
The Saudi government does not like to be criticized. Closeted straight man and human pig chimera Tim Dillon learned this the hard way. He was supposed to perform in Riyadh, but was dropped after making fun of the Saudis on his podcast.
I was fired from the Riyadh Comedy Festival. My agent called me and he goes, they heard what you said about them having slaves. And I said, I was being positive about it. I was defending them.
Okay. It's fucking insane. I mean, at least he criticized them before he, I mean, I guess there's something there, but...
Saying that if I was a slave, not that I want to be, if I was a slave, and I built a really nice thing, I might say to my slave children, Daddy built that. They didn't like that. You pushed me into the bosom of Iran. I'm going to Tehran to do their comedy festival.
Oh, and he brought up the slavery thing, which brings me to my next topic.
Hey, God bless for that, I guess. Oop, shit.
Imagine you're a comedian and you're offered $300,000 to do a show in Riyadh. When you land, the show promoter takes your passport away and says you're actually only going to be paid $300 and you have no way of leaving the country. Well, that's exactly what happens to a lot of foreign workers living in these Gulf Arab countries. All the skyscrapers, shopping malls, and luxury hotels are built on the backs of exploited laborers from poor countries. Almost half of Saudi Arabia's population is made up of migrant workers, usually from Africa and Southeast Asia. And if women are second-class citizens, then migrants are fourth. Most of them are lured to the kingdom with...
Sounds like H-1B visas, am I right? No. Funny enough, it actually is one of the concerns of the H-1B visas is that, people can come over here for some of these tech jobs and they could be told, like, hey, if you don't work a certain amount of, hours or whatever for us, unpaid, you're just going to send you back. So there is a level of truth to that. Probably worse here. Probably just a little bit worse here. But, yeah, I mean, pretty bad stuff.
Promises of a good salary and a better life, but instead, they often end up working extremely long hours for little money, and they can't even go home. I think there's a word for this. I forget what it is. It'll come back to me. Most of these
Slave labor?
immigrants are brought in through kafala, a work sponsorship program popular in the Gulf Arab countries. It gives employers complete control over their employees' legal status, meaning they own you. Slavery. That's the word. I said it earlier multiple times. Basically, recruitment agencies trick poor people into thinking they're getting the opportunity of a lifetime, but in reality, they're signing their lives away to some company. I mean, to be honest,
They're probably not going to do that to the comedians because they know that it wouldn't help their whitewashing. But yeah, I mean, I understand the point of bringing it up in general. You know, these people obviously, I mean, these comedians obviously don't care. All these people know what's going on too. You know, and they could back out. They could just back out of it if they wanted to. If they were fucking super mega based, they would just back out of it. But they're not going to do that.
that sounds like any job, but trust me, this is much, much worse. Once the workers get to their destination, they quickly realize that their dream job is actually a nightmare. The first thing that happens is their employer takes their passport and phone away, and then the actual work starts. Workers
I can't make no calls, dude. What the fuck?
reported having to clock in 12 to 15-hour shifts with no overtime, and they received less money than they were promised. They were also forced to live in squalor, crammed into dirty, bug-infested apartments with up to 15 people sharing one room. And if they have a problem with that, well, tough shit. They can't leave the country or change jobs without their sponsor's consent. If they are granted permission, then they have to pay a fee plus cover their own transportation costs, which they can't afford. Oh, and I haven't even gotten to the death part yet. Now, you guys might remember a few years ago when Qatar hosted the FIFA World Cup that they were getting a bunch of shit for the way they treated their migrant workers. Between 2010 and 2019, over 10,000 people died building their soccer stadiums and
Jesus
hotels.
Christ.
Now, surely Saudi Arabia, who's set to host the World Cup in 2034, learned from Qatar's mistakes, right?
Well, scores of migrants have died in gruesome yet avoidable workplace-related accidents in Saudi Arabia.
Sounds like building the pyramids, dude. What the fuck?
As the government there ramps up construction work ahead of the 2034 World Cup. That's according to Human Rights Watch, which says those who've died have done so after falling from buildings, having been electrocuted, or in some cases even decapitated.
Okay. Maybe not. 884 migrant workers from Bangladesh.
Again, like, I just feel like this is so in the atmosphere of fucking... this is so much more in the atmosphere of somebody like Bill Burr caring about, but he doesn't give a fuck, dude.
Died in Saudi Arabia between January and July 2024, a 6-month period. 80% of these deaths were uninvestigated and attributed to natural causes, thus not eligible for compensation.
I guess when you're getting, you know, I guess your body just can't naturally keep up. You know what I mean? There's your natural cause. Your body can't keep up with all the work, dude. So.
Now, to be fair, the Saudi government did implement labor reforms to fix some of these issues.
They took out their tongues so they couldn't say anything bad was happening.
But they're not really enforced too well. And the reforms didn't apply to the 4 million domestic workers living in Saudi because they're considered servants and not workers. According to a report from Amnesty International from just a few months ago, female domestic workers in particular still face horrendous abuse.
2.8 million women work as maids in the Middle East. Many have their passports confiscated on arrival, and some find themselves trapped inside homes where they're overworked, underpaid, and physically abused.
A typical workday consisting of a minimum of 16 hours, often more, of cleaning, cooking, and looking after children. They were paid on average $240.
But I thought women love doing those things. Are you really working if you're doing your passion, guys? Looking after kids? What? That's so much fun.
$40 per month, and none were paid overtime, meaning their average wage equated to about 50 cents per hour.
Jesus.
Some employers delayed the woman's salary.
That's how much I used to get paid when I was younger. My uncle's deli, he would pay me $20 a day for 12 hours of work. But, you know, that was pre-inflation. So if you think about it, I was getting paid better as a kid than they are as adults. It's crazy.
Or did not pay them at all. And that's not even the worst part. Many of the women recounted they were shouted at, called names, and humiliated, while others were sexually assaulted and in some cases raped by their male employers.
Wouldn't doubt that, unfortunately.
You know, if I was a comedian being paid hundreds of thousands of dollars and being catered to by actual slaves, that would make me feel...
The only thing that would save them is if somebody makes like a fucking super based joke about what's going on, in Saudi Arabia, but then I don't think that they would make it back alive. That would be the unfortunate. Like if Bill Burr went over there and he was like, dude, fuck this. I'm going to make a joke about how Saudi Arabia is so bad when I get over there. You know, I'd be like, oh shit, you know what? Fucking that's some balls right there, boy. It's got some boy balls on him, boy, there, boy. You know? That'd be pretty fucking based.
Feel a bit uncomfortable personally, but hey, I guess a comedian's brain just works differently. Us civilians can't possibly comprehend it. Now, guys, all this slavery business is obviously terrible, but it's not even the worst thing that the Saudi government has done, believe it or not. A lot of these comedians are very outspoken about Gaza, especially Bill Burr and Dave Chappelle, which is good. We should call out Israel for, you know, committing war crimes and whatnot. But the thing is, not too long ago, Saudi Arabia did the same thing in Yemen that Israel is currently doing in Gaza. In 2014, the Houthis, a Shia rebel group, captured Yemen's capital and forced the president to go into exile.
Well, but I was told that the Houthis were good.
Now, the Houthis are backed by Saudi's arch nemesis, Iran. And they couldn't have that, so in 2015, a coalition of Sunni Arab states led by Saudi Arabia attacked Yemen to try and reinstate the old government. Now, despite what political streamers on Twitch might say, the Houthis are not good guys. But this campaign went...
Well, guys, I have to disagree with you there, Dantavius. I mean, you know, are you trying to say Hassan Parker is not being honest? This is fucking ridiculous. Guys, you cannot take anything that Dantavius has to say as valid because he's criticizing our number one here. Also, I feel like this could have been a good main channel video for Dantavius to make.
Went way too far. It resulted in what the UN called the worst humanitarian crisis in the world. Saudi intervention in Yemen has included massive airstrikes. Over a third have targeted civilian areas, including hospitals, homes, markets, schools, and mosques, directly killing over 12,000 civilians. Saudi naval blockades have cut off food supplies. Thousands of children have died of starvation. A cholera epidemic affected 800,000 civilians and killed thousands. 80% of the population depends on humanitarian relief. At least 233,000 civilians have died in Yemen's civil war. This sounds kind of familiar. Yeah, no, that's definitely pretty much exactly what Israel's doing in Gaza right now.
Sounds like it.
Except for some reason there was no public outcry about this. I guess the PR campaign is working. Now,
well, I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that like Israel is to a large extent a Western country. And so, like, they're going to get criticized more. Like, that is, it sounds weird to say. What Israel's doing is disgusting. It needs to be criticized. But it is, to an extent, part of, like, the almost propaganda campaign to care about that more than any other conflict going on over there. You should care about all of them, but it's like people don't necessarily care unless it's, like, a Western presence in there. And there's a level, that makes sense because we're giving them money. So, like, you know, we should hold them to a particularly high standard. But still, you know, that is part of it.
Saudi Arabia has gotten less involved in the war since 2022, which is good, but at the end of the day, the damage is done, and the same people are still in charge, and now comedians are taking their blood money. It's insane to me. I mean, these people make millions of dollars. Not a single one of these comedians is not a millionaire.
Really? All of them are? Is that Woody Allen? Andy Dick? I mean, Andy Dick is a fucking drug addict. Is this Woody Allen? What? Am I fucking crazy? That looks like Woody Allen. Didn't that guy like marry his daughter or something weird like that? What the fuck?
And it's still not enough for them. They get up on stage or on their podcasts and moralize to us civilians, but in reality, they have no morals.
Andrew Schultz too, damn.
They have no integrity. Tim Dillon said it best.
It's very simple. If you pay me lots of money, I will not comment on what's going on. In fact, I will ignore it. And if something that I really disagree with is happening, the more money you pay me, the less I'm going to think about it.
And if one...
I mean, I don't know, man. I'm starting to think that Tim Dillon got... I wonder if he did that because people were pissed at him, or if he did that because that was like part of the play. It's like, yeah, let me take this money, criticize the fuck out of them, and prove that if you are critical against them, then they're going to kick you off.
One of these people ever gets called out, their defense is always, well, I'm just a comedian. Well, that's true. And that's
again, comedians. I mean, comedians are the ones that are able to be as political as possible. You know, it's just crazy because, like, also, I don't think that they particularly care for gay people over in Saudi Arabia. And that one girl, whatever the fuck her name was, like, she's a very Like she's, you know, all about the gays. That's half of her fucking jokes are about gay people, you know? So I don't know, dude. It's fucking crazy.
These people should never be taken seriously. Joe Rogan and his ilk have somehow gaslit us into thinking that comedians are this elite group of philosophers and truth tellers.
There's a level of truth to that, though. I think that's one of the that's the thing. There's kind of a level of truth to that. You know,
comic's brain is so different than a pedestrian's brain.
When it comes to
okay, that's fucking ridiculous. What? A comic's brain is different from a pedestrian's brain? Pedestrian? What the fuck?
Down to it, comedians are what they've always been. Clowns. I'm saying this as a comedy fan, by the way, okay? I'm not some kind of fucking wet blanket. Luckily, though, not
I am. I pissed on it.
Every comedian is an irredeemable sellout. Greek Giga Chad Stavros Halkias called out some of his pals for participating in the Riyadh Comedy Festival.
And then September 11th, Saudi Arabia with... Oh, you fucking piece of shit. You're all fucking pieces of shit. Everyone doing all the people cleaning your sheets are just Filipino slaves.
Shane Gillis, another GOAT, also had the integrity to turn down the Saudi blood money.
Yeah,
perpetrated 9/11.
I'm not doing it.
That is good. I admire that.
Then they doubled the bag, and I was like, it was a
damn. They said no, they fucking boosted the money. That's actually kind of crazy.
Significant bag.
What?
Yeah, but I'd already said no. You know, I took a principled stand.
It's good to know that there's at least a few chuckleheads with some principles out here. I think the only way these schmucks can regain back the respect they've lost is if they go on stage and start shit-talking the regime. But I highly doubt they're gonna risk their paychecks or a trip to a desert jail. Now guys, I do have to concede that Saudi Arabia is slowly getting better. They're not as bad as they were even 5 years ago.
That's fair, but still, I think it's, I think especially for like the bigger activists, they should be like, yeah, that's not good. Probably, maybe we don't do this one, you know?
Okay, women can drive. The religious authorities are
one I'm a little skeptical of.
Strict. Hell, even Jews are allowed to enter the country now.
Oh, right!
I think they still have a long way to go before I go to VidCon Riyadh, which I'm sure is going to be a thing soon. You know what? Fuck it. I'll do it for 50K. Just kidding. There's only one.
Shit, it might be safer over it might be safer over there than it is over here. Let's be fucking honest. I don't know. With everything going on, a VidCon over there, TwitchCon over there. I don't know, dude. Who knows? Let's just be stupid.
Dictator I would ever perform for.
The gay woman said she wouldn't do gay jokes? No way. Did she really say that? Beautiful. You think that they're saying crazy shit that I shouldn't be supporting? Whoa, that's a bop, guys, I think. Unless it's propaganda, then it's terrible.